The number one piece of advice that I've gotten over the years while working in social media is that if you try to speak to everyone, you will speak to no one. Your views are low because your audience does not know that the content that you're making is for them. Let me show you how to fix that so you can grow and stop being in the 200, 300 view jail, as they call it. I've seen this mistake time and time and time and time again. I don't have one singular client that I helped change this for that they did not get out of that 200, 300 jail. I don't have one, and I've worked with over 100 clients. So let's get into it. Hi, my name is Bree, and welcome to the Purpose Brand Management YouTube channel. This is a place for entrepreneurs, influencers, content creators, and just thought leaders who want to build a better online presence, a more engaged presence, monetization, and potential clients dependent on what you're here for. So let's get right into this video. By the end of this video, you will have a good idea of what you need to do to get out of the XX jail. So let's get into why broad content doesn't work, because obviously this has been a fight since the beginning of time. Do to niche or to not niche? Do I niche? Do I not niche? Number one, I'm a brand strategist first before anything else. I apply branding strategy to social media, and that's where the disconnect is with a lot of people who teach social media strategy online. You must have the pieces of branding and the pieces of social media strategy to put them together and create a reputable brand that has longevity. Number one, the thing that hurts you the most when you don't niche down is your lack of identity. The viewers don't know what you stand for. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you represent and who they can look, what can they look to from you, because you haven't made that abundantly clear. Broad topics typically don't connect with specific audience members because the topic is broad. And this will turn into poor audience retention, which is what a lot of people struggle with. And once you struggle with that, now your views are getting killed because the algorithm is being shown that people are not liking the content. Another big issue, especially with YouTube and TikTok, guys, those are very heavy search engines compared to Instagram. And for you to not, and for these algorithms to potentially not know what type of content you're producing, think about who they're showing the videos to. I tell people all the time, when you're using hashtags, you're using keywords, you're using titles, all of this is to curate and feed YouTube and feed TikTok so that they know what to produce for you. They know who to send this to, right? So if they don't know who to send this to, they're sending this to a bunch of random people who aren't your target audience members. And if they're not your target audience members, they're not clicking on it. They're not watching the video. Like, imagine you're just like, oh, I'm just a girl, and that's like your whole theme of your channel, but you're doing tech reviews, you're doing vlogs, you're doing baking. How can anyone know what to expect from you? How can they know why they follow you if you're doing just so much? I've talked about several times how to define your niche, and I'm going to kind of put a video up that you should reference to help you out. So there's 3 easy ways to figure out what should I be making content about. Obviously, what are you passionate about? What's your expertise level? And what are your audience's needs? And if you're like, I don't know my audience's needs, I don't have an audience, then pick one. That's the problem. Everyone wants to make content without seeing where there's a gap in the market and wonder why they can't grow. Those 3 things are crucial for growth. This means researching your area of interest. If you want to be the next Aaliyah and Jackie and you want to be in the luxury Black girl space, how can you be there and stand up against the competition? You don't know if you're going to be able to do that if you don't do any research and if you don't pay attention to the details of what the people who are already in this space are doing. Obviously, your next step is going to be testing and iterating. You're going to test. I say that in a lot of my videos. So if you're somebody that wants to be in the fitness space, fitness is not what you're going to post. Like, you're not going to say, I am a fitness influencer, I make fitness content. You do not make fitness content. That is too broad of a niche. Instead, what you're going to do is what I like to call verticals. Verticals, and this typically goes with TikTok more so, but on YouTube, same thing. And what I mean by verticals is, what are 3 to 5 topics within fitness that you are going to specialize in and that you're going to be known for? So could it be high protein meal prep ideas? Could it be leg day splits, workout splits? Could it be talking about fitness myths? Whatever that thing is, you're going to test those and you're going to run it. You're going to run about 5, 6 videos on it, whether that be YouTube, whether that be TikTok. You're going to see how people engage. You're going to do that for each of the topics that I just said. And you're going to see where people resonated, where people actually felt like you were speaking to them directly. Once you see that and compare them, guess where you're going to lean into? The ones that are performing well. The problem is a lot of people don't understand the power of a right audience. The power of a right audience, let me break that down for you. This is why there can be 2 people on TikTok with 100,000 followers and one person can charge 20 grand for a TikTok and the other person can only charge 5. The type of audience you have matters. This is why I tell people stop trying to get high chasing a viral hit, because if you bring in the wrong audience members, there goes your positioning when it comes to brand deals. There goes your negotiating power right out the door with all of those randoms that have crept into your space. So this is why I'm saying the power of the audience will always be at the top of the food chain. So this goes into why you don't want to speak to everyone. The broader the topic, now these brands have to sit here and say, okay, here's our target audience. I am Fenty Beauty and I know who my target audience is. I'm looking at Natasha's channel, and yes, Natasha is pretty and she used one of our products, but I'm a little confused about like who her target audience is. A good rule of thumb is that if a brand cannot see who your target audience is in about 6-7 posts, we don't know and you don't know. You can go ahead and assume that you're not going to have the best luck at getting the highest paying brand deals compared to other people in your quote unquote niche. And not only are you going to have better opportunities with brand deals, you're going to grow faster. YouTube now knows how to categorize you. YouTube knows who to send these videos to, because you have made it abundantly clear who your audience is, and you're not trying to feed something for everyone. And you're not like, oh, I'm gonna post this because I think it'll go viral. If that is the consensus behind your decision-making process of whether to upload a video or not, that video is not gonna do well for you, and it's not gonna pull in the audience members that you need. And to give you a good example of this, let's just even scratch the brand deal thing. A good example of this is the type of content that I make. If I start making, I don't know, let's say I start cooking on here, or I start, showing you guys how to save money in finances, which I mean, could kind of be a line, but not really, right? If I started doing that and now YouTube starts pushing my content to people who are, looking for finance tips or cooking advice, and my key goal for being on YouTube is to get more clients and to grow quickly, am I going to do those things? Now, instead of having 100%, instead of having 100% of my audience members be people who are struggling with social media, wanting an online presence, want to start YouTube channels, want to start TikToks, now I've shrunk my percentage to maybe only 33% now of my audience is looking for those services, because I have diversified the content. And that's not where you want to be. Same thing with brands. Let's say we have like a protein powder brand, like looking for content creators. And yeah, you post wellness content, but you also post a little bit of like beauty content. And then you also do some fashion. The brand is going to think, wow, your engagement rate is 4%, which is average, but that 4% engagement is split up between 3 topic groups and 3 different audience members. So how do we know that we're going to return on our investment? Because we don't know that we see that your whole audience is not our target audience. Only a third of them are. This is why if brand deals, making money, making this a full-time career is your goal, you must specialize. I hope this was helpful. The biggest key thing that I want you guys to take from this video is stop trying to speak to everyone and curate your own audience. You don't have to let YouTube and the algorithm be the thing to curate the audience for you. You have all the power when it comes to that. And I think people just assume, I don't know why my audience members are like this. I don't know. I feel like my followers aren't engaged. You have the opportunity to make your own followers, and we don't use it enough because we want to rely on the algorithm and how they push things out on who we attract. Whatever you put out, it should be clear on who you want to attract. If you found some value in this video, make sure you drop the secret emoji right here. And of course, as always, if you need one-on-one service help, I'm here for you guys in the description box. You can book with me. I have a bunch of different services that I offer. And also make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And I will see you guys back in a few days. Bye.